Hey guys, Anna Brooks here. Welcome to 2017's first live stream of 2017, and I am going to do an audio blog as this suggests. So the full name of today's blog is Why Smart Goals Are Actually the Stupidest Method for Goal Setting and the Method for Goal Setting That Actually Works. So I'll be posting the link for the actual written blog underneath as well, so you can check back on that later. But if you're listening to this by audio, here we go. Since the beginning of time, or at least since personal development and goals, etc., became the most popular buzzwords around, people jumped on the SMART goals bandwagon and have been flogging it ever since. In school, in the fitness industry, and in any workplace training situation, as well as countless others, you can pretty much guarantee someone will bring up the importance of SMART goals. Now, here is where the problem lies. And before I launch into the problems that you may have experienced trying to set and implement SMART goals, let me say that they do have a use, as I will explain later. But it isn't for those who intend to live a life outside of the norm. For those happy to settle into what life gives them, then with just a few comfortable additions here and there, those who choose fitting in over standing out, there is a place for these goals. Because truth be told, that is exactly who they were invented for. But what if that isn't you? What if you are the 1%? What if mediocre and fitting in and not pushing the envelope terrify you much more than the risks taken to achieve a life even few dare to dream of? Well then, my dear, you've been ripped off, being told that SMART goal setting is the way you'll get there. Wasted time and effort. Feeling annoyed? Well, here comes the good news. The turnaround for someone like you, once you stop buying into the masses goal setting technique, is super fast, like immediate. But hold up for just a moment. I know you're curious, but you naturally want to know first, what the hell is actually wrong with SMART goals? Let's start at S, specific. Trust the masses to shut down all hope of growth and imagination right at the first letter. They say specific is good. If you don't make your goal super clear and identifiable down to the last minute detail, you will fail. What the 1%ers know is that getting laser focused on one single outcome is a guaranteed disaster when you're talking about dreams and goals that lie outside the usual sphere. Talk to any hugely successful man or woman in their chosen field and lifestyle, and they'll tell you that every success they've ever had was not in their original plan. They had to come at it with the end in mind and trust that the journey that would work itself out. For example, their goals of their dream body, house, lifestyle, career. They had to focus on where it was all going, but not on the exact house, exact body fat percentage, or exact job at the exact firm. Because what happens when you achieve that goal? Do you suddenly feel happy and contented that you can now be satisfied? Of course not. Oh, lost where I was at. Of course not. That's a total lie. And if you don't achieve that specific goal, or say losing exactly 10 kilos, then you're a failure and have to suffer and eat your way back to square one. Sounds moronic, but the sad truth is that that is exactly what most of us will do, because we're programmed to believe that that single specific goal is all that matters and anything less is just not good enough. What a great way to ensure you set yourself up for failure and rebound. Specific is not what you need. A specific vision of what you want, in fact, is what will get you there, but not a preset and defined goal that will at best mean nothing when it's achieved, and at worst set you on a cycle of fail, beat yourself up, start again. Okay, measurable. This again relates to specific. If you set a specific goal of example, 10 kilo weight loss, then you can measure that by weighing yourself. Duh. Let's keep this short. What happens when your goal is tied to a number on a scale that can vary based on hundreds of reasons, not all of which are under your constant control? Yep, you feel like a failure. Beat yourself up, back to square one. I will cover how a goal can and does need to be still measurable later, but not in this way. Achievable, realistic, oh dear. These two letters are basically one and the same, and the number one letter that grinds my goat. What the hell does that even mean? That somehow there are goals that exist that cannot be achieved? Really? The kind of limited thinking is exactly what the masses eat up, because their friends and family and media dictate what is achievable or realistic for them, and there lies their limit. Oh, you can lose 10 kilos, but probably no more than that because you're big boned and your mum's sister, long lost pet iguana, has always been a bit bigger, so it's just how you'll be. Genetics. Let me tell you something. What is realistic is determined by the masses, by what has already been done. as if the world and the society has been built on a history of people who have done things that others never did, and that is why we now know that the world is not flat. Enjoy our food heated up in microwaves, and just Google it is not mumbo jumbo, but a phrase that almost everyone understands. The world is full of examples of people and goals that were not realistic, and in the minds of others around them, they were not achievable. But hey, they did it anyway. Lucky them, right? Not so much. What is realistic is self-determined. Stop letting others tell you otherwise. When someone says that that isn't realistic or achievable, they mean for them. And of course, timed. Ah, yes, timed. Because if 6 months from now rolls around and that scale doesn't show 10 kilos, then you've failed. Big fat failure. Go eat your sorrows away. I think you get the drift. So let me tell you how your goal setting should look if you actually want to achieve more stuff than you could even imagine, and have it be a cycle of constant success without the beating yourself up and starting again bit. Firstly, let's get really unspecific. Let's say your goal is to lose 10 kilos, or it was, and now you need to upgrade that goal to something that actually works. Well, what do you really want? What will losing 10 kilos actually give you? Because I guarantee you, it isn't the joy of stepping onto a scale and having the numbers 10 kilos less come up to show you your mass is now 10 kilos less. How do I know that? Well, because if it was, then you would have already thought of other ways to make that goal easier, i.e. cut off a limb. If this was truly absolutely all that you desired and wanted, that option would have crossed your mind. But it's not what you want. You want something else. You want what 10 kilos less means to you. And what it means can be different for everyone. For me, my weight loss meant a feeling of lightness, freedom, sexiness, and power. I felt I could do and be anything. I wanted to buy any clothes, and I know that basically know that anything looked good on me. Never worry about a roll or a lump. Eat good food effortlessly and not desire junk. To feel like I was living up to my worth, that my outside was equal to my inside strength. All that stuff had nothing to do with the scale, obviously. What a dumb goal. But that stuff is specific, and that is the stuff that made me commit to the goal, not 10 kilos less on the scale. Seriously, what does a piece of plastic and metal mean to me? Nothing. What does the way I feel within myself and see myself mean? Everything. So get specific, but not about what you want, but about what getting what you want means to you. What about measuring? Making sure your goal is realistic, because heaven forbid you should stretch yourself too far and fail. Failure is the ultimate fear, right? No, much better to settle for something less attainable, approved by others. Those who succeed on a grand scale, the 1%ers just like you, make a habit of often and consistently setting huge goals that are nowhere near realistic and scare the hell out of them because they have no idea how they will achieve them. See that word? How, not if. How. Because guess what is no longer your enemy? Failure. Failure is not in fact a thing. It is a word that people invented to keep the masses in check. If you set a goal and you fail, well, you probably didn't set it smart. Go back, aim a little lower, and then lower again. Those who succeed know that if something doesn't work the first time, what they have is a very valuable lesson. One that if they learn, they can increase their chance of success next time, or realize that they are going for the wrong goal after all and redirect. Oh, and timing your goals, the best thing you can do. Because guess what? Put a time limit does. It sets you up for two failures. One is that you can't do it sooner than that because your mind is so focused on the end date. And the other is that if you don't succeed by set time, then you have, that's right, failed. But you need to set a time or you won't get a rocket up your butt to do it, right? Yep. So here it is, now. Your goal is being achieved now. The moment you decide to do it, it is already there. You are already that slim, healthy, vibrant girl who effortlessly eats to nourish, and for who junk food is just an occasional indulgence. You became that person immediately in your mind. Then the rest just follows. No, you don't physically lose 10 kilos in that moment, but you do in your mind. And that means your goal will happen just as soon as it possibly can. Maybe in 6 months, maybe in 3 or 2, but why set a time limit of having it to take a whole 6 months to do something you could have done in 3? Finally, get rid of all ideas about what is realistic or achievable. This is not a thing. It is an opinion. So it is time to raise your opinion about what you're capable of. The most successful among us have always set huge goals that go well above anything that could be truly specific or timed about. And along the way, they had many lessons, and they continued. and what they reached was so far above even their loftiest goals, and definitely eons above what anyone considered realistic. So they wanted to earn 1 million and they'd only earned 750,000. Boo-hoo. Better than that first realistic goal of 100,000. So they wanted to be lean enough to do a fitness model comp by the end of the year, and instead they achieved their dream body by June and then decided they wanted to compete and didn't want to compete, and instead got a photo shoot and went on a dream holiday for a month to enjoy their body in this new bikini body. Yeah, boo-hoo. Your goals will change, grow, do complete U-turns, and there will be a lifetime of lessons. But remember, it is about finding your way to the how and not being stuck on the if. You will find a way if you believe hard enough that you must. If you believe a failure is the end, then it will be. So put time aside, time to push aside those smart goals and doing what is right, and start setting some lofty goals and start doing what you really want. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.